burst options. Of course, he got quick attack too, but
oh my gosh, no.
No, not again.
Oh,
no, he did not. Oh, no, he did not.
Battle of BC3 was this last weekend, and I won. I wanted a PGR V-tier event, the third biggest event that's happened in Smash Ultimate's history thus far, at least after, I guess, Genesis started, which like the PGR season started, and I wanted to go over my tournament. So in the doubles bracket, I teamed with Captain L, and for the most part, we went Pikachu and Pikachu. There was a couple times we tried out, you know, my Yoshi or his Pichu, but for the most part, we stuck with double Pika. Round 1, we played against Alush and Solentium, and I forgot to record that because I'm the worst, so I don't know who they played, but we did win 2-0. And similarly against Ryonak and BDSM, I also didn't record that, so I don't know who they played, so sorry, but we did 2-0 them. But I did record my round 3 opponents, which was against Goofy and Mono, and they went double Yoshi versus us. It was actually a really tense and close set because Yoshi kind of obnoxious for both Pikachu and Pichu, but we were able to solid it out. And then in a winners finals of the pool, we had to play against Fed versus Rafa and Silent Rain, which was a Luigi and Piranha Plant team. Crazy synergy. We actually had to win 1v1s and 2v1s in both games. It was crazy close. The Piranha Plant was amazing with some crazy clutch saves on the Luigi. Sometimes the Luigi would just get edgeguarded really early. I think I SD'd one of the games and the Piranha Plant SD'd the same game to kind of help us bring it back. It was a really weird and wonky set, but we did win that 2-0 to advance into the final bracket. And by the final bracket, I mean the top 8 bracket, apparently. So round 1 of that, we played against Let's Tickle and Lemon, which is an Inkling and Daisy team, and we won that 3-1. Just pretty solid play on both of their ends, but we were just able to, at some points, just like get the lead, or rather bring back the lead, or just play more solid when we had the lead and just kind of section them off. Actually, I feel like it was a 3-2. I feel like it was game 5, but Smash G, I think, reported it wrong. But either way, it was a very close set, very tense. Both of them amazing players from BC. They give trouble to Captain L at least a decent amount at the locals, so I knew it was going to be difficult, but we did win that 3-1 or 3-2. I'm pretty sure it was 3-2, but Smash G says 3-1, so whatever. In winners finals, we played against Pandarian and Captain Zach, and we lost that 3-2. It was super close. There would be some times when like I would just get really greedy off stage and die to a Daisy forward air, or there would be times Captain L would make questionable decisions against Pokemon Trainer off the top and just die at 50%. You know, we just, like, sometimes our decision making just wasn't correct, and so we lost that, unfortunately, 3-2 to drop into losers finals, where we played against Exodia and Ally, and we won that 3-1. Again, Snake has a really hard time versus me, and I'm really good at that matchup, and also Exodia played Fox, except in the game he went Mewtwo, I'm pretty sure, but we were just able to edge guard him, and we were able to keep him in disadvantage. And then Ally, Snake being a slow character, you know, wasn't able to save him as much unless there was already a grenade there, but me, I was super good at playing around grenades. Captain L a little bit less so, but sometimes we just got hits on either player and they would just explode, and so we used that to win 3-1 to advance back into grand finals, where we again lost to Pandarian and Captain Zach 3-2. Similar thing, when we were playing well, we were playing so well, we were doing so many things just amazingly, but unfortunately sometimes we would just like kind of derp with our decision making. I think I died in the entire set to like 4 fairs off stage below 85% against Captain Zach, maybe like a bad Vine Whip, or I got spiked because I went super aggressive versus Pandarian, and unfortunately we just lost that. It was super close, but second place, again, seeing as me and Captain L had never teamed before, we had almost no synergy, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. Second place in doubles, pretty good. Round 1, I played against Lavendi, who was a Roy, and actually he took first stock incredibly convincingly game 1, but then after that I played a lot more solid. I just kind of did Pikachu things. I played a little bit safer, and I was able to, I think, clean up game 1 as a 2-stock, and then either 2-stock or 3-stock him game 2. I was very, like, confident. You know, losing a stock, I'm so used to it in Smash 4, just like, oops, I died, so things like that do not really faze me. So I advanced 2-0 against him. Then next up I played against Kendrill, who was a Falco main. It was really funny because he was actually very good, but I played against AC and a bunch of friendlies to warm up at Ultimate Nimbus, and so I learned a lot about that matchup, and I was able to apply it here. Kind of had to remember some little things, like up tilt back air being absolutely ridiculous. I think I died to that one stock, and you know, the fact that his up B does have a starting hitbox, unlike in Melee, so I was able to win that 2-0 as well. And then I played in winners finals with my pool. The first game that I dropped was against Nuke, who played Pichu. Game 1, I missed 2 techs on a Nair, and then a weak Nair, game stocks 1 and 3, and I died to forward smash very early, and I was like, okay, you know, regardless, like, if that doesn't happen to me, I'll be fine, because I felt like I was outplaying him the rest of the game, and the rest of the set I 3-stocked him game 2 after shoring up my play a little bit, playing a lot more of the spacing game, you know, responding to Thunder Jolts a little bit better, and I 3-stocked him game 2, and then game 3, I believe I 2-stocked him. He taunted in the middle of a combo, which to me was amazing, because I was winning by a lot, and I figured he thought that I was like, okay, I'm not going to win, let me just get the moment for the crowd, because the crowd was so loud behind us, and he definitely got their favor. And of course, like, when I killed him that stock, I was like, okay, taunt back, because I'm winning, and I love taunting in general. I love the crowd like that. So I did eventually win that 2-1 to advance into top 48 winners. Round 1 of that, I had to play against Bishley, who was a Falco main, so it's kind of funny that I had to play a Falco earlier in bracket. I had already remembered a bunch of those things, and game 1 I did 3-stock him, because some of Falco moves don't work. I fell out of a fair, I fell out of a nair, you know, his up throw and his backer, which should have killed me. I could avoid the laser with DI. Just a bunch of little things kind of went wrong. I did 3-stock him that game, and he for some reason went on to Lilat. And then between games 1 and 2, he got a kiss from his bros, and it powered him up, but not enough, and I think I just won 1 stock. Game 2, it was very close, or at least much closer than a 3-stock, and so the kiss power up from his bros really did help, but he ended up falling to me. Seeing as I was the 1 seed, the power up was not quite enough. The next round I had to play against Duang, who upset Locus's Dr. Mario, and he played Mario, and that was a 3-0. Game 1, not super close. Game 2, much closer, seeing as I got caped at about 30% and also hit like the weird, there's like a part of Smashville in Town and City which just Pikachu and Pichu's quick attack do not like, or I guess quick attack and agility do not like. You'll just go straight up and just hit the wall and then just fall down, which is really annoying, and that happened at about 30%, but I still did win that game, so I was able to win that set 3-0. After losing 2 stocks really early, if you win that game, you know you're winning the set. And in winners quarterfinals, I had to play against Stripe, who is a Fox main with a Youngling secondary, which I did not know he had that, but he kind of played it against me game 3. Games 1 and 2, Pika Fox, I won pretty handily. Again, I'm really good at that matchup. You know, I played really well against Light, who is the best Fox in the world, and I've played a bunch of different Foxes, like in friendlies and in money matches and things like that. I'm very comfortable with that matchup. Game 3, I was like, okay, I'm so comfortable with this matchup that I know I'm going to win the set, even if I throw away a game, so I'm going to go Yoshi, because I want to play Yoshi more in tournament. I want to play my secondaries and get them practiced in tournament, so I can use them in tournament and not really feel scared if I really need them. But apparently, he doesn't really like the Yoshi versus Fox matchup, so he counterpicked me to Young Link, and I've never played that matchup before, and I've barely even seen that matchup before, and the zoning was really obnoxious, and I was down most of the game, almost made a crazy comeback last stock, but to no avail, and then I ended up going Pikachu game 4, and then I ended up winning the set anyway. But I really wanted to get that win with Yoshi. That comeback would have been sick, but I do advance into top 8 winners. In top 8 winners, I had my closest set of the day, and that was going to be versus Pandarian, and he just got off to a really strong start. It was really close game 1. I DI'd a Vine Whip poorly at about 65 or 70%, and I exploded off the side, so he took that game. Game 2, Charizard was his MVP, pretty much, I think took like 2 full stocks from me, or about that. It was ridiculous. It was so hard to get in, and so he did take that game. And then I was like, okay, I'm down 2-0. He's amazing. I obviously played him at Ultimate Nimbus twice, and you know, I was up both sets. I 2-0'd him, rather I 3-0'd him in winners, and then I was up 2-0 in the second set, and then he brought it to a game 5. So I was like, okay, I'm down 2 games. What do I have to do? The answer was just play better and play more solid, and that is exactly what I did. Game 3, incredibly close, but I clutched it out. Game 4, incredibly close. Rather, I was ahead by a decent amount, and then he ended up bringing it back, so it was still fairly close. In Game 5, he was up almost an entire stock. I think I was at like 1 stock 70 or 80 when he still had 2 stocks left. High percent, but still had 2 stocks. I get the kill. I get some really early juggles. I call out some switches. Just some really clutch little things. Got it both to high percent, and then I did win with a dash attack. I think he DI'd it poorly at about 135 when I had about 110 rage. So I did win that so close. Pandarian is getting so much better. The amount of it's crazy how much better he got at that matchup in the last like 4 weeks, considering he hasn't really played against me since then. He is just so smart, such a good player. I'm really happy for him as an up and coming. He's still young, you know, he's like 15 or 16, really good, crazy talent, crazy mind for the game. He is a threat, definitely already now, and I feel like he will only go up from here. But speaking of going up, I go up against Ally in winners finals, and as I've mentioned a couple times, no one will beat me with Snake other than MVD, and so I was pretty much up 2-0 already in the set because he decided to go Snake 2 games. I think like a JB3 and a high percent 2 stock was the first 2 games. It was pretty easy. Again, I'm just really good at the Snake matchup. That's like not even like calling out Ally saying he's bad, but I'm just ridiculous at that matchup, and no Snake will beat me. And so game 3 he went Mario, and again it was still a 2 stock. You know, I had to adjust to like not being able to just run up him in the air, since Snake's anti-airs are like up tilt, and that's a little bit different than an invincible up smash, which Mario has. And so I did end up, you know, winning that game with a low percent 2 stock. I was like, okay, I just killed him and I'm at high percent, time to just not get hit by forward smash or grabbed or up smash or things like that. And so I played a lot more simple, and then I kind of baited him into doing a shield grab, got a grab, down throw, down air, it went off stage into a fast fall nair, which whiffed, but it gave me enough time to do a double jump thunder, which 2-framed him, and he went to about 65% from the thunder and just exploded off the side. So I win 3-0 to advance into grand finals winner side, where I ended up having to play Ally again. This time he didn't really throw any games away with Snake. He went Mario from the get-go, and it was so funny because I win game 1 and I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident versus this. He wins game 2 and he like popped up. He was like, oh my god, I finally won a game. That's better than I expected. it, and then he proceeded to win 2 more games consecutively, so he did win the first set 3-0, but at the same time, I knew that I had a set to play, because obviously I didn't want to lose. Losing a set is always scary because I lose that cushion, but game 4, when I was down 2-1, I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this game, like obviously I want to win, but I'm going to use this game as a way to really figure out what I want to do and kind of understand what he's doing and the air dodge patterns and where he's trying to air dodge and how he's using the platforms and things like that, and I just don't want to lose the next set. So I lost game 4, and then set 2 I did come in with a different game plan. Game 1 I win barely. It was so close game 1, but I did clutch it out with I think just like a dash attack or like a forward air or something at high percents. I was super happy. I'm like, okay, I have the set advantage. I should win this. Game 2 I won pretty solidly as far as I remember. Just I was playing very well, very dominant, just in neutral, in advantage. I just wasn't getting hit by a lot of the jankier things that I got hit by in set 1, such as like random forward smashes on the platform, and so I was able to win that. And then game 3 I was up by so much, and then I got hit by, he just ran off and forwarded me at like 45%, because Al is still one of the clutchest players just in Smash Bros history, and so we did take that game. But then game 4 I played much more sure of myself, and I did get a 2-stock victory to seal out Battle of BC3. I was victorious. I won a PGR tiered event, a B tier event, the 3rd biggest event that has happened so far. I'm sure that'll get like outshined by 5 or 6 or 7 events as we go along, but hey, for now, I got it. And overall, the event was just really fun. It was really good. BC, a beautiful region. I've never been there before. This was in Vancouver, Canada. There was cherry blossoms. The weather was gorgeous. The food there was amazing. There were so many options. I loved the crowd at the event. They were so loud. With some weird chants, but they were just so fun and really supporting Big D. And when he lost, you saw the crowd literally like lose 70% of its size, you know, with like losers finals and grand finals. It was crazy, but just the crowd was amazing. The people were amazing. Anytime that I talked to anyone, there was a huge line of people that were so happy that I was there and that the other top players were there. It was just so much fun to meet all the people. I met a huge fan that has been like a pretty much constant in my stream chat, which was really nice. Shout out to Zero Fanatic. And it was so much fun to just be around a new group of people. I mean, I've been with the top players, but a new group of fans. You know, I watched Melee. The Melee top 6 was sick. You know, it was really funny because grand finals of Melee was Axe versus Zane. So once I was in grand finals, I'm like, okay, I'm either matching my Melee top 8 happened first for reference, and I was like, okay, I either have, you know, I'm going to match my Panda Global buddy with Zane and get second, or I'm going to match with my Pika buddy and get first. And for me, I did match my Pikachu buddy, got first. I'm so happy I finally won an event. I did start getting really nervous I wasn't nervous game 3, but then Ally made that comeback and I was like, okay. And I again like had trouble breathing game 4 a little bit. Then when I took first stock, I was like, what are you doing? Stop, you're fine, you're winning, you're good. Don't SD like you did versus Light, because I did kind of panic once I was up 2-1 against Light. Had like a low-key panic attack, but you know, whatever. But so I did close it out. Hopefully that'll make my mentality a lot more sure when it comes to the final stages of the tournament. You know, you have to be consistent at tournaments, and that's one of the reasons I love Pikachu, because he gives me the ability to be as consistent as I choose to be. And yeah, as always, social media, Panda and partner stuff is down below. Thank you everyone who has supported me until this point. You know, for me finally winning something of, you know, relevance, I'm very happy about that. And, you know, hopefully this means better things for ESAM in the future, you know, in tournaments. You know, I'm going to a lot in April. I have Prime Saga and Pound and the Goodwill Invitational. Then I have like a bunch of things in May, and then the summer of Smash starts, so it's going to get crazy, and hopefully I can rack up some more W's. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.